Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to the Love Decanters channel. So today I'm going to talk about Irish glass, and I'm going to show you some Irish glass, but I'm not going to show you any decanters, and this makes my life hard. Okay, so one of the things you have to remember about Irish glass is that the glass industry there started because it was a tax fix. Okay, they could pay less tax by making glass in Ireland. So, and there was no traditional fine quality Irish glass being made up until 1783, or if there was, it was small. Anyway, what happened in 1783? There was a tax relief on glass, and in Ireland specifically, and lots of English makers went to Ireland, and that's where your problems start. You see, so decanters were made a bit differently in Ireland because they were making cheaper glass, and so they had a different look about them. That's for a different video, okay? But they did look different, and there was ways to identify them specifically. But for the rest of the glass, you have to rely on the books, and so I have. So this is my. I pulled it all out together, and this is my specifically Irish references, okay? And then on top of that, I probably have about 2 or 3 feet of books which have got Irish glass in them, and I even have some books that say English glass. In fact, most of the books that say just English glass have got Irish glass in them. So one of my problems is that a lot of these books reference the same stuff straight out of the museum in Dublin, okay? And then there's a few other bits and pieces, and then there's some stuff that's from various collections. But although this seems like a lot of material, in fact, actually, a lot of it's the same stuff repeated over and over again. One of the nice things is that you do get a lot of the bits and bobs stuff, and and the bits and bobs is what I'm going to show you. Glasses, little pots like this, and some of it is, this is clearly Irish. It's in the books, and I'm having to rely on looking, having looked through all my books so many times. There's stuff that I have that is clearly not in any of the English books. Okay, it's not ever labelled as English or anything like that, but it is clearly in the Irish book. So you kind of go, I'm not seeing it anywhere else. I think it is. And then some of the stuff that I have bought it in Ireland, and it's in the Irish book. So you're going, this is all, nearly 100% Irish. You've just got to go with that sometimes. But so it's a little bit soft around the edges, and I will try and nuance what I tell you to give you a bit of a feel for, I am really certain, I am not quite certain, I'm not sure at all, kind of thing. So there's going to be some of that in it. So with that said, we'll get on and I'll show you some of the bits and pieces. So it's going to be like glasses, bits of tableware, stuff like that, but not decanters. I'll say I've probably got like about 2 more videos of Irish decanters, but I thought I'd do bits and pieces, and I'll show you references to go with them as we're going along. So I'm not going to show you a bunch of stuff at the beginning and then a bunch of glass afterwards. I'll do it as we go along. So with that said, let's get on with the video. So this glass I'm showing you here, there's a strong probability that it is Irish because of this pattern here. It's called Vesica and Diamond. It was done a lot by Cork Glass Company. It is a bit of a relic because, it's had a big chunk out of it sometime. This means that you can't test to see if it's lead crystal by this, but however, it does have a nice fine folded foot. That's conical one like this, and it's not a good shape for ringing, but it's not thunking. It's got a very high pitched ring. Lovely broken pontle. I'm not going to wash it because I don't want the glue on this to come off and lose it or anything. So so it's a bit dirty, so you can really easily tell where the folded foot is. So and the question is did they make glasses this shape? I have a book One thing you have to remember is that this would have been made, because of the shape of it, by people literally coming straight off the boat from England. So it is shaped like an English glass. I have a book on volunteer glass, which is supposed to be from, I think it's from 1780 or something like that, to 1793, which is the period this glass might fit into. And yeah, they were making very traditional English shaped glasses. I'll show you one. It's not exactly, I think the one I've got is, this part's the same, but I think it's got a firing foot. There is another glass in there that's very like this, but it's Dutch, and that's soda glass, so that would sound different. And this one's lead. But I'll show you the one that's in a booklet that I have, where you've got that little tight time range for glass. Irish glass, here we go. So this is in a booklet called Irish Volunteer Glass by Catriona. I think this is issued by the National Museum of Ireland. Yeah, and you get this kind of glass in here, which is just a little cordial glass, really. And yeah, and everything in here is dated between, I think, 1780 to 1793. If I go to the very back of the booklet, though, look at this. Not that one. This one. Look at this. This is really like that glass. But this is Dutch, so this is a very common form that was being made everywhere. This is a soda glass one, and this also highlights a problem that you'll have if you're collecting this older glass, is to watch out to make sure that it is lead glass and not soda glass, and it's come from the continent if it's soda glass. So anyway, there you go. So this is a type of glass you see from time to time. I bought these two together in Ireland from the same dealer, and they apparently came out of the same collection. This fan cut edge like this is a very typical Irish thing. Bands of hobs like this, yeah, you see this in Ireland, but yeah, the English did it too. But it's a very, very Irish thing for that period. And then the other thing is the intensely cut base. Yeah, that is a very Irish thing. The other thing that's little horizontal blazes like this, well, not horizontal, diagonal is the word I'm looking for. Blazes like this, something you see on Irish glass. But what you've got to do is look at it in combination with other things. As I said, this came from Ireland, but the intensely cut base, don't worry about that. I've got several of these, and I use them to drink out of, so I don't care. And yeah, with the middle polished out, yeah, this shape of glass is kind of very typical. I saw quite a few of these when I was there, but there was a bunch of these and they were cheap, and this was cheap. This should have a lid because it's like a jam pot or something. This one I bought in the UK on its own separately. It was quite cheap, but I realised, hey look, the familial resemblance, I think is the word you're looking for. Probably out of the same factory. I think these are supposed to be Waterford, I think, but yeah. So even with the right down to, can you see the light, the way the light shines at the bottom of that with the lump in the middle? And exactly the same in this one. So yeah, I think these are there's slight colour differentiation, but I think they're out of the same factory. There's something about the way they're made that feels the same. So yeah, I will show you a few references, especially there's loads of references for this fan cut top. So I'll see if I can get one that's vertical, not horizontal. I mean horizontal, not vertical, but yeah, I'll show you something for that. So we'll move on. So the book I've got here is Irish Glass by Phelps Warren. This is one of my best Irish references. And yeah, so this is as close as it overall that I can get to that pot. But you can see with the same intensely cut foot, then slice cut stem, same, the way it's actually attached to the foot is the same, and you've got the hobnails. The difference is that with this one, the little fans are laid upright and not laid out. I know there's one reference with them laid out flat, but I can't find it. But anyway, you can see it would have had a lid. The lid would have been probably, it would sit inside like this, so it would sit on top. Can you see how that sits on top and pops down inside like that? So that's how the lid would have fitted on the bowl that I have, as opposed to going inside the, you know, because this one can't slide sideways, so it can just plop in there and not have to go inside. But anyway, yeah, that's very close, and you can see the other glasses are similar. Even got the, we've got the diamonds at the top here, the hobnails, I mean, and then you've got little bands, and that's very similar to the glasses that I was showing you. So there you go. And what he's got here, date's not very precise, after 1800. This looks very machine cut, which means probably everybody had converted to machine cutting in Ireland by, I think, about 1810. So yeah, I think this will be post 1810 actually. And when I say machine cut, what I mean is steam engines. A bit further on in the book is these glasses here. So you've got one here, the foot, especially on this one, is like the glasses that we were looking at. The bowl is like those ones with the blazes underneath the cut diamonds. And then you've got here an applied faceted knob, sorry, apologies for that. Anyway, yeah, and 1820s, 1830s, there you go. So I've got a couple of barrel bowl glasses. I'm going to cheat on one of these, and I'm not going to show you a reference for it. I'm going to tell you something a bit about Irish glass here. So this one here, I don't have a reference for this glass, but look at this pattern on it. Yeah, with this meander. Okay. Now, the way they used to do the glass, sort of like pre-1800, was you'd have the factory would be making blanks, and outside somewhere there would be a guy in a shed with a cutting wheel who would etch these patterns, and he'd have a pattern book, and you'd go and buy your blanks, and you'd go outside and he would show you his pattern book, and you go, that one. So this is an Irish decanter because of the way the base is made. Yeah, it is. This is fairly, you get American decanters like this, but yeah, and there's continental ones, but they look different underneath. But anyway, this is an Irish one, and this is the pattern that's on it. Yeah, with the stars. This kind of ellipse is called a vesica. So it's got a vesica, which is a laurel with stars in it, and then sprigs where they cross over. And if you were looking in the, so this looks like it's done by a different hand because it's more finely done, but you can see in fact it's probably out of the same pattern book, because it's the vesica with the stars and the sprigs. Different engraver, but yeah, and customized for the customer with their initials, just like this one is customized for the customer with their initials. So this is probably pre-1800 or about then. This is a bit later. This is a different kettle of fish altogether. It has an applied annulated knob. Look at that. So it's like a neck ring on a decanter, but it's annulated. and then little panels cut, and then yeah, fine diamonds cut into it. Look at that, lovely quality piece. Yep, and I will show you a reference for this. Yeah, this is lovely. I didn't buy this in Ireland, so and I don't have an association like this, so I definitely need to show you a reference for this. When you see this fine band like this, yeah, you've got to watch out, because I have a set of goblets like this, but they're the late 20th century ones, with this band on them. But yeah, for the early glass, this is very Irish. So I will show you my reference. Let's see if I can remember this now. This is the General Guide to Art Collections, Part 9, Glass, Chapter 2, Irish Glass, from the National Museum of Science in Dublin. I think it was written by Dudley Westropp. And yeah, so there's my glass there. I looked up the reference because there's a number underneath it, and I looked that up, and what it says is probably cork, 19th century. So yeah, that's not very detailed explanation. I've seen other things of this kind labelled sort of like 1810, 1820, but this is the closest glass that I have to it. The only difference is that the ring on the stem, I'm not sure if that's just a bladed knob or if it's an applied knob, but it looks very similar, but it's not exactly the same. But the shape of the glass and the general layout of the glass, yeah, is the same. So if the Dublin Museum, I think, what was it, of Science and whatever, anyway, if that says it's probably cork, it's a pretty good reference, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. So here's a lovely rummer that I have, and I'm gonna completely cheat with this one. I'm not gonna dig around looking for references. I'm gonna show you something. So here's my glass that I showed you earlier that I bought in Ireland, and then I'm going to pull in a decanter. So what has this glass got that makes me think it stands a chance? I wouldn't say 100%, but first of all, there's this. This is unusual. Yeah. You don't see this, a faceted knob that's like applied like a neck ring every day. Okay, when you're looking at glasses. And then what have I got here? A faceted knob applied like a neck ring. And then I have here an Irish decanter. Now, yep, it's Irish because of the way the base is, as I showed you earlier. And yeah, this pattern here is something you see, these sort of like diamonds with little diamonds in them, are cut in different ways. It's something you see on Irish glass. I might dig one out in a book with something else. I don't think I can find it on a rummer like this, but yeah. But yeah, so that's what makes me think this stands a good chance. Stands a good chance of being Irish. So there we go. Yeah, these decanters are really good because this technique, this base technique, is specific to them, and then what you see is motifs reappearing. Regardless of what you've got in the book, you see motifs like this reappearing. You know, I mentioned it before, these diagonal blazes. Yeah, just like there, diagonal blazes. This is another wheat husk pattern. That's another common Irish pattern that you see. So I'm looking in Irish Glass by Phelps Warren, and yeah, so this one's got those kind of diamonds on it. These ones are slightly different, but one's interesting thing is it's got blazes over the top. These are diagonal, a bit like the ones on the decanter, and then swags underneath. Now, the ones on the glass have kind of swags, not like this though. They're more cut and polished swags. But I'll show you some other diamond shapes. So here's a jug with the diamond patterns. But again, it's different infill in the diamonds. And then there's another one here. Yeah, I know, the book's going sideways here. Let's switch it around. So this one, the infills are a star and then cross-hatching. And this cross-hatching here is just like on that rummer. So yeah, there's all sorts of, but this big crisscross with some sort of infill, usually some kind of hatching, you know, this kind of hatching, that kind of hatching, other different like crosses in between. Yeah, it is this kind of diamond with these infills. You see it on a lot of Irish glass. This time I'm really not going to look in a book. I am going to show you what I have. So this decanter here, molded base like you've seen before. Then you saw this on the other decanter I was showing you earlier. This wheat husk pattern, which is very distinguished Irish. And then you've got this, these little blibbies, little frieze. So this decanter has got 2 bladed neck rings, and it's a slightly more tapered shape than usual. And yeah, this shape here and 2 bladed rings is supposed to be B. Edwards of Belfast, okay. And then I have this little salt cellar, pepper, sugar, pour something, putting powdered sugar out. Anyway, I bought this on eBay. It came from Belfast, okay. It came as a 1950s kitsch salt cellar or pepper grinder or something, I think it was, or something like that. Anyway, so it was $2.99 it cost me. And yeah, you can see same wheat husk pattern and the blibbies. Look at that. Yeah, so it came from Belfast, and it's strange that it's actually got the same pattern as the Belfast decanter. Really cool. And it only cost me $2.99 plus postage, because they thought it was from the 1950s. Because it's kind of like a retro-y kind of shape. But it's not. Oh, and this is what's known as a lemon squeeze base. And it's got a chip. Oh no. Oh no, it's only like 230 years old and it's got a chip. Oh no. Anyway, yeah, it's lovely. I've got a bunch of little glasses here. I bought them all separately. I bought them all in England, and I bought them all probably not long after I started collecting. You used to be able to get little glasses like this for between £5 and £10 back in the 90s. And yeah, they've got this little motif with a little bow, little bits hanging off it, and a star and a laurel hanging between each of them. Little swag. Yeah, they've all got folded feet. Some of them, 3 of them have got very wide folded feet. Yep, two of them are buckets, but they're different from each other. So yeah, look at the quality though, bad quality. Yeah, which is probably why they were sold to be cheap. This one's different in that, yeah, you can see this one seems earlier, and this is a star that came in post 1800 with the, I think, with the bucket with it being attached like this, with this 3 layers. You can see there's a bit there, and then there's another layer. Yeah, so that's a bit different. And yeah, broken pontle. They've all got broken pontles. And then you've got this one, which has got a narrow folded foot. The same bow, swag, star. And then you've got this one, which is, yeah, it's got a taller foot, I think, than this one. Yeah. You can see it's got more, this one's got a flatter foot, but I think that's marginal. This one's got a wider foot with a narrow thing, and this one's got, the foot is more folded in. Yeah, you can see the same swag. Oh, there's no star on this one. So, but, and this one has a star. This one has little blibbies. But anyway, I bought these and because they were very cheap, and I thought, oh, little glasses with the folded feet, that means they're 18th century. Back then when I started, anything with a folded foot would be, I would count as 18th century, and I didn't care that they were tiny, they were cheap and cute with the little swags and things, so I just bought them whenever I saw them. So yeah, and then later on I bought one of my Irish glass books and this pattern appeared. That doesn't necessarily, I bought them all in England, doesn't necessarily mean they're Irish, but I will show you what's in the book. I'm back with Irish Glass by Phelps Warren, and as you can see, little bows and the stars and the swags, although one of them has got 4 dots in it, so it doesn't have stars. But anyway, different glasses. These 2 glasses are very different from each other, but the same pattern. Intriguing. And where does it say they're from? Collection art. Yeah, Glasgow. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't fill me entirely with confidence that they weren't in Ireland. But anyway, he thinks they're Irish. He's a better man than me because he's got access to far more stuff than me, because he's got piles of stuff out of various museums. So yeah, so there we go. So I've been filming for quite a while, and I've realised that I ain't going to get this done tonight. I'm going to be filming past midnight if I carry on like this. There's still loads more to do. So I've made the decision to make a 2-parter, because this is going to get too long. Yeah. So with that said, I will put all my references in the description below, and yeah, please remember to like and subscribe, and have a good night. Thank you. Bye.